So we have, because hospitality is a customer-centric industry, like any other. It's focused in guests, okay? It's focused in people. I have a different idea as well, because it's not just the outside people, the guests, but it's about the inside people. You are my staff, I look after you first, before we look after the guests. Because if I look after you, if I serve you, you're gonna serve the guests. Things are gonna happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah? So, I'm gonna write down a few things here. On the lodging and accommodation, okay? We have a few things, okay? We have B&B, we have Airbnb, we have motels, we have hotels, we have resorts, and we have serviced apartments. Again, you see the range is big. There's just a few of them. The range is big. It goes from B&B to serviced apartments. B&B usually is a cheap thing. You go to the countryside of Ireland. I have stayed in a few Airbnbs, B&Bs before, and you go to, let's say, to Kerry, and you pay usually 35, 40 euro with bed and breakfast, and then in the morning, usually the lady that's hosting you, she's going to cook your breakfast by order. It's very nice. She's going to talk about the region, you know, give a few advice to go around, see this, see that, and it's one of the accommodation lodging things. When you go to Airbnb, Airbnb has a vast range of options. I do Airbnb in my house, my apartment, okay? So it's an experience as well, actually, because you have a little hotel in your house, you know. Anywhere in hospital, if you think about it, it's a smart thing to do. You can live alone, you can, you know, you rent one of the other rooms and you look after them. You're gonna treat them. If you go to my house, I don't have a picture, I have it on my phone, I'm gonna show you later. I do the bed as they do in hotels. I give them a little welcome card, you know, a little bottle of water, you know, just a little touch to make them feel welcome, you know. I charge around 50 euro per day, but some people around charge 35, some people around charge 70, depends how you go. I like to be middle range, price-wise. But you also have options of Airbnb, very fancy options. In beachfront, you pay like 400 euro a night or 700 euro for the weekend, but you have like private, you know, place for yourself, very luxurious, you know, full of amenities. And you want to be you want to have the same level of hotel, but you want a privacy. Imagine if you are a famous soccer player, famous actor, whatever. You don't want to stay in a hotel because you don't want to focus on you. So you're going to rent. Your agent is going to rent one of their fancy Airbnb for you. You know, maybe put a housekeeper, someone to look after you during your stay. Motels. Motels is a funny thing because you have different ideas about hotel. Hotel is very traditional in America, North America, because they created that for motorways. Have a cheap motel to stay. You're driving for too long. America is big. They usually drive a lot, so you have your motel to stay the night. Usually they don't even have food and beverage facilities. They just have those machines, Coca-Cola machines. Put the coin inside and get whatever you want. But Brazilian people are very creative, you know? So we created motels for something else, for happiness. I mean, look, it's that's what it is in Brazil. Motel is for, you know, maybe you leave your family, you don't have a place to go, you need 2, 3, 4 hours, 5 hours, and then you spend it with your lover. Brazilians are creative. We are.
I need less than that.
3 minutes is enough. But I mean,
3 hours, come on.
Why not? Can stay overnight as well. So
to do the executive lunch here in Brazil.
As well, exactly. Well, yeah, that's something very true because 90% of the cheating happens during lunchtime between 11 to 2 o'clock in motels in Brazil. Talk about Brazil. Okay, this is not very traditional in.
Sorry.
90% of the cheating things,
Okay.
you know?
My God, yeah.
happens on lunchtime in motels in Brazil between 11 and 2 o'clock. It's a fact, actually. It's a fact.
Because of this, you don't need to worry about anything yet.
Well, never know. I always have someone investigating you, you know. But yeah, it is. It happens. It is not very famous in Europe or in another country because the legislation in Europe is very difficult, let's say. And to have a motel, you won't be able to have a motel unless you follow some rules. But it's not very famous in Europe actually because people rather stay in hotels or small B&Bs or Airbnbs. That's more famous, let's say, in Europe, more tradition. So then hotels. When you talk about hotels, hotels goes from 1 to 5 stars, okay? 6 or 7 as well if you go to Dubai. There's one place in Dubai and it's a 7-star hotel. There is no, if you think about hotel stars, you know, the rules, there's nothing saying about 6 or 7 stars. But those guys got a 7-star because of their style. It's just crazy. I'll try to get a video later for us here. Usually, hotels are more centralized than resorts. Okay? Hotels are going to be in big cities or major cities or towns, regional towns, you know. Whether resorts are kind of a vacation destination. You know, you go to, let's say, Thailand, or you go to the Caribbean islands. They are all vacation destinations. So resorts are there because resort usually they're situated in larger lands. So you have more opportunity. You don't need to leave the resort. Actually, you can stay there. Don't need to go trying to find some restaurant outside town because they have more than 10, 15 outlets inside that you can go. You know. The hotel focus is usually individuals, business people, not families. Not all of them, but the big majority, yeah, of the hotels focus are in business people, individuals, people that are spending 2-3 days in town and get out of here. You know, that's what they want, something quick, fast. And the resorts are usually more focused in relaxation, recreation. You know, together with all the amenities that the 5-star hotel has. Usually, 99% of resorts are 5 stars. They're 5 stars. So it's very hard for you, very rare that you're gonna go to a hotel, a resort, or even a 5-star hotel and have a bad service. It can happen, it happens. I'm in a 5-star now. It happens sometimes for many different reasons. Maybe we're a team of 5 today for lunch and 2 of you call sick and then you don't get replacement. We all know how it is, you know. It happens in another industry as well, but usually in hospitality it's a bit harder because one person cannot do a job of 2, but 2 people can do a job of 4. Do you get me? Just think about it. You alone sometimes you cannot host the people, sit them down, serve something, you can, but 2 people can, you know, to working as a team. But anyway, it happens. So that's more or less the difference between hotels and resorts. They're on the same level, but there's this little difference between the focus, okay? And then we have service apartments. Do you have any idea what service apartments is? So service apartments.
Like flats. If you have one service, like the hotel is your home, but you have you have someone to clean, to do the things.
Yeah.
It's like
it is like that. But this is a business model that people don't see. Okay? Service apartments. Let's say you have money, you have budget to open a hotel, 150 rooms hotel, and another 30 residents or apartments beside it that you're gonna sell. The whole project is 30 million, and you have 30 apartments. You're gonna sell each of them for price range from 1 million. So that resident's gonna pay for the business. It's a business. It's not like, oh, very nice, the hotel. Of course, they're thinking, they're playing on your minds because that's how it goes. At the end of the day, it's all about the bottom line. It's all about business. So that's a business strategy. The Four Seasons brand kind of created that many years ago, this business model, and they call it the residence. So basically you can buy it for that price, and then you're going to pay a monthly fee for service from, let's say, 5,000 euro per month or 10,000, depends what you want. You're going to have the same menus as the hotel rooms. You're going to have a housekeeper every day, or if you want once a week, twice a week, you pick the package. There's a package, and then you can have it. You can live your life. You know, maybe you are, again, I'm going to mention about soccer player again, because that's how they do. Usually go to Madrid. The guys in Madrid, they go there. It's very hard to find a very nice house, let's say. Okay? And then David Beckham lived in a service apartment for 2 years when he was in Madrid. So with his whole family. So they didn't find a house they wanted. And then the club has this apartment. Beckham actually bought that apartment, and he was living there. It's better than living in a house. You have everything, all the amenities inside. But there's another thing as well. Google, let's say Google is opening a new HQ in China, you know, and they know they're going to bring seasonal CEOs or leaders to stay for 6 months or 1 year or 3 months, you know, from different regions, you know, to add different things on the business. Google goes and rent it for 2 years instead of buying. So imagine for the company, for the Four Seasons who created that. Imagine you're talking about only Four Seasons. They're renting that for 2 years with the full service. Because then they're going to send, instead of, Aline, I'm going to send you to China. You're going to stay there for 1 year. Then you say, I don't want to buy a house. Instead of buying a house for you, which would be more expensive, they just put you there. It's already paid for 2 years. You know, they're just going to pay for the service. So that's how hotel makes a lot of money, because a 5-star, a luxury operation is very expensive, very expensive. You know, you see 5-star hotels here, you see 5-star hotels in London, 5-star hotels in New York, 5-star hotels in Dubai. The operations are different. Europe is way more expensive. America is expensive, but Europe is more expensive. The labor cost is very costly, crazy, and sometimes you don't really get the 5-star, you know, real 5-star thing. You know, I'm not talking about that 5-star. No, because people you want to be treated as a human being. This formal stuff is gone already. You know, it's gone, but you don't get it because it's very expensive. So in order to keep this operation running, you have this business model. And you see, if you think about it, just think as an engineering, just think as a therapeutic, whatever, you know. You have space in this industry. Just think about it. I'm going to talk about it more. And so again, these are the most popular lodging and accommodation things. Now I'm going to talk about the main guy, which is food and beverage. That's my field inside the industry. For me, it's the most exciting field. And I'll tell the structure, okay? I have restaurants and bars. You have a catering company. Sorry, my writing is horrible. Fast food. You have takeaways. You have food halls. I have social catering. And you have industrial catering. That's just a few of them, okay? But I'm gonna try to, you know, summarize a little bit of each of them. When you talk about restaurants, okay, restaurants and bars, it goes from that €5 eat as much as you can to a very high-end product, Michelin star things or fancy brasseries in five-star hotels. So it's a very, the range is crazy. Goes to fancy cocktail bars, from Dices to you go to Dawson Street to have the Ivy cocktail bar, which is one of the fanciest ones in Ireland now at the moment. So it's huge. It's a huge business. Okay. The price range as well is different. For Dices, you guys are paying €2. There, the cheapest cocktail would be €15. But it's all about where you're gonna go, who you will get related with. You know, you're gonna grow. Sometimes you gotta invest in yourself.
Yeah.
On my first 3 years here, no joke. Over the last 4, I'm here for I came back 4.5 years ago. The first 2 years, I couldn't save that much because I was always out having coffees or watching and learning. That's how you learn. Watch and learn. That's my learning process. I'm still learning. I don't stop. But was always watching. You learn everywhere. So I was out. I had a girlfriend say, "Why do you spend so much money?" I'm not spending, I'm investing. It's true. So it depends. If you want to go to Dice, it's beautiful. Good luck. It's nice and nice. It's a beautiful venue, you know. But are you gonna get something from there? You're gonna get any engineering job? You're gonna treat people there? You have students that goes there probably, most of them. But what I suggest or recommend is focus. Stay away from the Brazilian community when you come to Ireland. Because if you want to live in the Brazilian community, you can leave, but go back to Brazil. Or stay here living in the Brazilian community once a week. You know, when I was a kitchen porter, cleaner, once a week on Wednesdays, I used to play there. That was my only Brazilian night. The other days, I was with the gringos. I was out, I was learning. You know, learning the language, meeting people, networking. So it's true. You won't grow. Then you have travel and tourism. Usually, this is kind of the backbone of hospitality because they bring people from one place to another place. So it's very important for us to have this the travel company, agencies and tourism business rotating all the time. It's a very important, one of the main, most important fields into the hospitality industry. Then you have entertainment events because they are very important. When you have a soccer match, when you have concerts, you bring people from all over the world to see, you know. Like concerts, for example, they have the hospitality company catering for them as well. You know, they have the travel agencies selling the concert tickets to bring people in. So it's a very important thing as well. And you can be from sales, and if you're working, you can be for engineering, and be working on the structure of the whole event. So again, I can mention all of the different fields inside the hospitality industry, all of them.